Wow, check this out, everybody.
I wish we had recorded Wendy's comments when she first saw this. In '86 they put all this in to protect the artworks. Arrived at this little beach here, some rocks, a little bit of sand, and incoming tide. We've left Peanut here while we go and check out some Aboriginal art, some rock paintings. So get your walking boots on, Wen?
I'm getting there.
Standing on my walking boots while you're putting your walking boots on.
I'm trying. It's all a bit difficult.
Here we are on Flinders, or Stanley Island, and this track will lead us through the other side of the island where we're heading. Kapok trees are out in bloom, and the conglomerate on these rocks is just amazing. Actually, all the rocks are incredible around here.
Yep.
So this is your kapok tree. There's lots of different types. Some are quite squat, others are quite solid like these. But one thing in common is the flowers are edible. They're pretty tasteless. They've got a little bit of taste to them, but they're good in a salad. You know, you make a bit of salad and you drop some flowers in, gives it a bit of colour. Green ants eat me here, so I'm gonna. Oh, well, he's gone. And the stamens. Oh no, here's a green ant. They're very tasty as well. The stamens here are very potent colouring. So if you want to make a like a rice that's gonna, instead you haven't got any turmeric or you haven't got any saffron. See the colour there on my fingers? So you can just use that to colour your rice. And then when in the springtime, these will pop open. They're full of like a 5, but there's none of these. The old ones, there's no old ones here. They pop open and it's like kapok, the real kapok. But anyway, it's a bit about kapok tree.
Tiny little termite mounds. They're only about that big. Oh, there's a bigger one. These are green ants' nests.
Queensland Parks and Wildlife do an incredible job with these islands. Even on this little sandy track here, they've put woo-boys in the whole way along for erosion control. Because of course where everyone walks is you'll get a divot, and then that divot water will flow in it, and the water will start eroding the land. So they put these woo-boys in or erosion control mounds to stop the water, so the water will run down, high point, run down instead of continuing on down this path here and creating a gully. The water would just run off the sides. So they're all the way along. They do an incredible job. My hat goes off to them, the boys and lady. So on the well protected high country, coming back from a beach or something, you come across these mounds of shells and oysters and just mounds and mounds and mounds of them, and they're middens. They're the waste heaps from Aboriginals camps, so they didn't have much waste. It was totally biodegradable and natural, and so that's why you get these big mounds on the high points, or up there you can see, I can't see from there, but there would have been a camp up there, I reckon. It's well protected, there's some overhangs, there's also a lot of shells in the mound up there. Same here. So there you go. It's beautiful. I can imagine why they would have wanted the camp here. All the food in the world. There's water on these islands. You can tell by the grass types and down the bulrushes and melaleuca down at the bottom of the gullies that there's definitely water. So yeah, why wouldn't you want it to live here? Absolutely beautiful. Abundant food, water, shelter. What more do you need in life? And a good woman. Now you can see here where the woo boys have sort of built, the dirt's built up behind them. The erosion started and you get these deep gullies. They've tried to minimise the water flow. There's one woo boy here that's been washed out, but you can see what happens, and this just gets worse and worse and worse until you get big gullies. So that's the impact we have as humans. We divert Mother Nature and then we ruin things. But anyway, that's just what happens here. You'll see these little holes here. They're everywhere, and they're all over Australia. And they're dug by a little insect down there that we call antlions. I don't know the real name. And when you were kids, you sort of dig down until you found it. It's quite good to find an antlion. But they dig them at a particular angle depending on the fineness of the sand, so that anything that crawls along, it crawls in there, falls down and can't get out of this little hole because the sand just keeps tumbling down. And up comes the little antlion and eats it. Everywhere, all along this area here. Come on, Boulder. It's a good one just up past there.
There's one. Left hand.
There's in front of you. There.
This?
Yeah.
Ready? Good shot. You want another one?
Yeah, now you got a good cringer bat.
Hang on, I'll get another one.
Same one again. Launch this one into the water.
Alright, ready?
Yep.
Woo! Nice. How beautiful is this? This? Incredible.
Another common food source up here is beach morning glory. I can't remember its real name. I'm sure Wendy will put it across the screen there. There's no shortage of it, it's everywhere. I don't know about its nutritional value, but you know, food's food. You don't have to work too hard for it.
It's always easier to walk in someone else's footprints.
So they're really, really tasty. I don't need my Bernie bean anymore. They're really, really tasty, but they use a lot of energy to get them open. Each one of these contains 1 or 2 kernels, and really hard to get open. You need like my big knife. But they're very tasty. Taste like almonds, and they're ready for the picking when they get that colour. Or when they've just pieces that just dropped to the ground, they're ready. These are a bit old. This here is Moreton Bay ash, and the bark, if you chew it, right, it soothes toothache. So before Aboriginals had pots to boil water in, before they got, I think green ants are biting my feet. They used to chew this bark to relieve toothache. But after that, once they had vessels to boil water in, they would just boil it up to make an infusion that you could use as a mouthwash to help with toothache. There's Melaleuca down there, another handy tree. Oh, there's a whole big lump of them there.
You're on a nest? No.
Well, they're nesting in the trees.
Yeah.
On a track.
Oh, you are, look.
Yeah. They were getting me. Oh, I'll see. They were getting me. Anyway, so there you go. These really big kapoks, or bigger than this in fact, were commonly used to make dugout canoes. Just single man dugout canoes, and it's pronounced Ortoon, I think, in the local language here. And the young little saplings, you can eat the roots as well, they're quite tasty.
Yindayan Rock Shelter was a living place for the Yithuwara for at least 5,900 years and probably longer, up until about 60 years ago. The ochre and clay images on the walls of these rock shelters provide some clues to past lives. The lifestyle of the Yithuwara was changed abruptly when European mariners began using these islands for shelter and water, and when others settled in the region. Small cutters heralded immense changes. Wow, check this out, everybody! Incredible!
I wish we had recorded Wendy's comments when she first saw this.
It's being protected by these...
Yeah, it's been 86 they put all this in to protect the artworks. And you can see where people used to come, and the dust has...
wow!
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to take some more video in here.
What a magic place to live. I mean, you've got like lounge room, a couple of little bunks there, a little kitchen area, but this wouldn't have been used for that. This would have been used for storytelling, and because the Aboriginals didn't cook and have smoke and stuff where their artwork is, because it ruins it pretty well. It's a different area. This is where they would have talked. But the only fella living here now, I just spotted him, look. Up there in the crack, there's a little python having a snooze from the warm rocks. So the art here is sensational. As you can see, because there's a lot of images of ships, all this art is relatively new in the scope of things. Last 250 years sort of stuff. But there's everything here. There's even emu footprints up here. Frogs, crabs, turtles, bungarras, fish, lots of ships, turtles, lots and lots of ships, stingrays, sharks. Yeah, everything's in. Some of the detail, the ones that are up underneath, like this fish here, this fella here. And the detail is sensational.
Yithuwara recorded aspects of their lives as images using available materials. Red ochre and white clay were collected locally, ground up with water and painted onto rock surfaces. The dark red was obtained by burning the ochre.
Now the reason a lot of this stuff looks so new is that it has been touched up or done as late as the 40s.
Just found a sandwich chair in the middle of nowhere. Haven't seen one of those for a while.
This distinctive leaf belongs to the belly tree, or the belly oak. Anyway, there's a resin. The resin of this tree is super sticky, and they used to use it to bind the heads on spears and things like that. It's a real good glue, and you can also eat the fruit from it. It fruits in spring, and it's very sweet and yummy. You can eat it raw, you don't need to boil it or anything. No toxins in it. It's a belly tree. Righto, onwards and upwards and back to Nutty, and then we'll go sailing.